Okay, time to make sure this is working. Oh, good start. And it's lagging great. Sound test. Right, okay, so a few seconds behind. That's fine. Audio sounds good even. Right, let's do this. Let's get some people in. Let's get going. Right. I'll keep that down here. Right, so we're going to give it a moment, wait for some people to make their way over to the stream. And then we have a mountain of questions to answer. Okay, hello, tuning in from the land of hot dogs and bald eagles for the 100th live stream special. Hello, thank you very much for tuning in. I got your questions lined up from the Discord server. I took screenshots just in case someone decided to be funny and delete theirs from the Discord server. Ooh, pardon me. So, how are you doing? Oh, what I'm going to do, let me come off that. Apologies in advance if I am lagging. I'm really hoping there's not going to be any issues. If there is any lag, let me know as soon as possible, because I'll try and do something about it, but the problem is I can't really do anything about it. My Wi-Fi is a bit naff at the moment. I don't know what's made it this way. So I need to make sure I'm all caught up. There we go. So I've got the replay on standby just in case there's anything going on. I have been finding several train pictures. You have been busy as ever in the Discord server. The thing is, you are finding some locomotives that I never knew existed, but also am quite fond of. There's some shapes and styles that I'm finding because of your posts, which are, I'm not going to say tempting, but it's ideas, something for the future. Right, so yeah, let's give it another moment. I have had, I copy and paste this. You have mentioned that in the, I think it was the last live stream, you said you copy and paste across a couple of servers. Mental. But yes, what was I going to say? Give it a few moments, something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was it. A Brickling order arrived about 20 minutes ago, so thankfully I didn't miss it. But I now have to wait for the live stream to come and go to get on with the belts. Yes, you can see unintentionally. Where do I? There we go. There's another belt over here that's done. Let me hide that because you're technically not supposed to see it. You're going to be terrible, can't find work, having no life, so I must post train pics. Yeah, welcome to the modern world. Everything's so difficult and you're not allowed to have a good life. I got lucky in a way. I can talk about that later if you want. But yeah, in the meantime, post some train pictures, because why not? Let's put this. I can't put it on that one. Oh, there we go. Put it up in there for now. Oops. Yeah, I've got boxes and special items from Brickling orders that came in the past few days all over the floor. I've got to get rid of that all in one go. So, why is that in the background? Oh, right, okay. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. Rock Band Hyena, hello, happy birthday. Yes, thank you very much. It is an interesting way to celebrate the day because I have had a number of things come up where other people have been sadly unavailable. So I basically got the day to myself. The girlfriend is at work, so we're going to be celebrating on Saturday. We're going to be attending, well, not attending, but we're going to a store that's here in the UK. It's called Brick Traders. It's about a 2-hour drive from where I live. And it's going to be a really interesting visit because apparently they buy and sell secondhand Lego. So I've got plenty of items with me that I want to try and sell on. I got a couple of sealed sets, a bunch of minifigures. I might take some other bits to see what I can get, to be honest. Yeah, that's a good idea. Speaking of selling sets, someone might show up in the middle of the live stream to pick up some Lego Facebook Marketplace. It's that stuff right there. So he said he'd be here after 1 o'clock, but he's not giving me anything else to go with. I'm hoping the live stream can come and go before he appears, hopefully. Happy anniversary of the day you were birthed. Yes, thank you ever so much. I've never been one to post my birthday online. I think this is the first time I've made my birthday publicly known on my channel that I can remember. And for the sake of getting it out there, I am 28 years old today. 28. Wow. I can't be 21 anymore. That ship has sailed. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with the questions, shall we? So in the lead up to this, I did say get all your questions into the Discord server. We've had a couple of people ask some questions. Some of these people have asked multiple questions. So I was going to try and organize them, but I'm just going to go back and forth because, well, not back and forth, but in the order they were listed in the Discord server, because that's the easiest way to go about it. And there's no question repeats as far as I saw. My birthday is redacted. Yeah, good choice. Should we get a poll going, or like a? Yeah, let's do a poll for the channel at the same time. That's a point. Before we get into the questions, there's a few things I want to announce first. I'll get the announcements out of the way, and then we'll dig into the questions. We'll do that. So first of all, I did we are live on Discord. Nothing looks to be deleted either, so we'll just use that. Okay, that's fine. I got an idea. It's really awkward because my wire for the webcam is right. I don't know why I did it this way. It's right down the middle of the desk and in the way of the keyboard. So, what? Let's try that. Don't know how well it's going to really work, but there we go. Just made a poll. What is your ideal Lego train set? If we're going to get any kind of conversation going, we may as well use the one that everyone's going to default back to. So, I know I got that one. I think I already got 2 announcements. Yeah, I think it's only 2. Then we'll go into it. So, first of all, let me shuffle over some a bit more in the middle. There we go. Mayo Hosco, hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good to see you. How are you doing? We're here, about to answer some questions, get a few announcements out there. So, good timing. Thank you for coming along. So, the first new announcement is after 2 days of filming and 6 days of on and off editing, Street Racers Chapter 4 is done. The production is finished. Oh my god, the editing took a while. With Chapter 3, I think it only took 3 days, but that was non-stop editing. There were a couple of interferences when it came to the editing of Chapter 4. And the worst part was the profiles were fine. They were nice and quick. They took between 10 and 15 minutes each to make. But the chapter intro and outro, or the opener and finale, I should say, that was what I was dreading, because conveying the story I had written to what I have been able to film doesn't quite align in a couple of spaces, but I'm still very happy with the overall outcome. It's very good to watch the video back and then export it, because that moment you get to check for any little mistakes, as well as being able to enjoy that final piece. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. Again, as simple as they are in some ways, that's my story being told. So March 31st is when that is going to be premiering, all the way through April. Every day in the month, we're going to get a new Street Racer character profile. And on May 1st will be the Chapter 4 finale. Really, really looking forward to this. Over on my Instagram page, just in line with this, I am posting, as well as on my Flickr page, some more LEGO car mocks. These car mocks will be featured in Chapter 5. These are all of the Chapter 5 ones. These are basically some that I've made over the past couple of weeks, since about New Year's, really. So it's been about 8 weeks, couple of months. Some of them, like Meta, for example, I've shown off, but to actually get the pictures out, it's a bit overdue. So that's something to keep an eye out for as well every day. That's something to spend some time enjoying in the lead up to Street Racers. And the other exciting announcement is I'm doing another LEGO show this year. So the LEGO Belt Tour is going from 9 shows to 10. Oh, yes. So the first 2 shows have already come and gone. The first one was February 7th, the CCJ Brick Show. March 1st, which was only a couple of days ago, that was Comic-Con here in Bristol. If I get the image up, don't want to delete that. Bloody hell. I've also reformatted the tour image as well. So next is Black Country Brick Show in the Midlands, which is April 18th and 19th. Brick Express, which is May 30th and 31st. Swindon Comic Con, which is on June 20th. The Supersonic Brick Show, which is back here in Bristol, July 4th and 5th. The new date is Brick Adventure at Didcot Railway Centre. I have been keen to do the show for a couple of years, and it's only a 1 hour, 20-minute drive. So I thought, you know what? I'd rather eat the drive. Never mind paying for a hotel. I'll do 1 hour 20 here and back every day. I drive like 50 minutes for Swindon with Great Western. So, sod it. What's another half an hour? I can do that. So that's August 22nd, 23rd. The Create It, Play It Brick Show on October 4th. A week after that is the Great Western Brick Show, October 10th and 11th. Rounding off the year with the grand finale here at Bristol Brick Show, November 28th and 29th. That is the LEGO Belt Tour. Another new date in the books. I am really excited with this. I have been going back and forth with the organisers of Black Country as well. And my table space has been finalised. I needed at least 3 to get the original 9 belts on there. And since I'm making some new ones in the lead up to the show, I've got that extra table to play with, get some new ones out there. It's going to be very good. Right, ladies and gentlemen, quick drink. Let's get on with the questions at long last. Here we go. So the first one comes from RK315. Would you ever do rail enthusiast content, like going to heritage railways and documenting interesting things? Not particularly. I've never really been a big rail fan, and I've said this in the past couple of years when it came to Lego trains anyway. So I was really good at making Lego trains. I didn't really care too much about heritage. Well, I do care about heritage railways, but I was never one to go train spotting, for example. The Brick Express show that I do here in Bristol takes place at a heritage railway. So I think as a piece of bonus content for the second channel, I will try and get some footage of the trains running during the weekend. So it's definitely something I could do, and I kind of have done in the past. At least 2 vlogs. I went to another heritage site, which is near Bristol City Centre, which itself is a lovely railway. It technically counts as a railway, but it's a harbour side with 4 massive cranes. It's a beautiful site. There's that, and there was, what was the other one? The Watercress Line. That's the name of it. The Watercress Line. For 2019, Yeah, this is when I celebrated my 21st. So I had a ride in the cab of one of the steam locomotives. I think it was a Black 5. Lovely machine, absolutely lovely machine. That was a vlog I did as well, but it's not something I can keep up with doing. Again, I was never a big railway fan, big railway enthusiast. I would love to go to the York National Railway Museum. I would love to do that one day. But besides that, I don't see myself doing it. It's just not my flavor, to be honest. I really, sadly, never has been. With all the Lego Train stuff and the influence I've had in that particular side of things, it's weird how the real life inspiration never hit me in the same way. So, bit of a shame. Mayo in the chat says, don't know what Street Racers is, so I'll wait and see. I know people who exhibit at Backcountry Big Show. So, my Street Racer series, there is a playlist on my channel where you can find it all. It's currently 95 videos, but you'll understand the gist as soon as you watch the first few videos. It's basically a story series that I made, but it also works as a Lego car mock showcase video. So instead of doing 100 separate mock showcase videos or trying to group some cars together, it was more fun to make a story behind the drivers and the cars and build a world around it. So I would encourage you to check out the playlist if you haven't seen it already. I really do believe you'll enjoy it, and season 4 is going to be amazing. So there's that. Okay, so thank you, RK, for the first of a number of questions. Next, we have a few from Phoenix Lover 69. The first one is, what was the first Lego set you remember getting? There were some Lego City sets I got before the Emerald Knight. There's a few questions similar to that, but I am able to rephrase it to be able to give you a couple of different answers. So I know I got the Emerald Knight for Christmas, and I bought myself a second one with like 10 weeks pocket money after that. I don't remember much else, but you know what? I do remember visiting some family in, I want to say it was in Wales. Oh, pardon me. So I remember visiting some family. It was on my dad's side. I'm pretty sure it was in Wales, but I went to a toy store, and this was before City. It was World City. It was a bit moody, a bit sort of dark on the box art, but it looked really cool at the time and still kind of does have its own charm today. And I got a police helicopter which had 3 rotary blades, I guess you would call them. But I'll try and find it. I'll find it now. Why not? Lego World City Police helicopter. There was, yeah, that's the one. There was also a World City cargo crane and lorry that I remember getting as well. I don't remember which one I got first. Anyway, one of the earliest Lego sets. I've posted it in the Discord server so people can have a look. Oh, it was such a small box, but man, it was fun to be able to just have it. It's so stylish in something. When you look at the helicopter as well, it's got 2 rear blades and it's cool. I like it. It's cool. So yeah. There's that one. Next question. Next contraption class when? Yeah, so this guy absolutely loves my contraption class locomotives. So I would like to make another one because they were very steampunky and stupid, but in a good way. If I ever get back into the world of railway building, I would like to make another contraption class. I think it was the Mark IV I made. There's one in particular which had large wheels and was very exposed. It was really stupid, but it looks like early designs. Early locomotive designs. So that's something I want to try and recreate. This is a Doug. Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the birthday wishes. It is good to see you. How are you? I'll check out the Street Racers playlist. Yeah, there's plenty of time to do that as well. There's a hell of a lot of videos. Well, the videos are only 90 seconds each. I have a series opener and finale, which is like 3 minutes each, but you can binge the entire series in like 2 hours at the most. I don't know how long exactly, but you're good. Like an hour and a half, maybe. Right, back to the question. Next contraction class when? Yeah, I'll make one when I get back into building railways. I do like the idea of still making a police train for Motoropolis. I'm going to wait for that set to go on sale, obviously, because £180 is way too much. 100, I'll probably go for it. If I ever find someone who's selling it for under 100, then yeah, clearly I'll go for it. But yeah, I need to build back up to that. I mean, I don't really have much space for a layout. I would like to make some pop-up tables. I have thought about that before, but we'll get them when we get there. So inevitably, yes, we'll get there. What was your favorite Lego theme that got a TV show? Ninjago. I've said this forever, and I'll keep on saying it. I was there day one for Ninjago. I was there day one. The spinners in that flat packaging. At the time, I remember I could have bought 4 of the unique ones, or individual ones. Instead, I got the set that came with the Dragon Suit J. It was so frustrating that he didn't have his own character card. But I had him. Loved it. And his final question from this bulk is favorite Lego movie / short film. Probably the Lego movie, as basic as it is. The Batman movie is really good. I remember seeing that in the cinemas. I haven't seen Lego Movie 2, but just the Lego movie is really good. The Lego Ninjago movie, you know what? Yeah, the Ninjago movie. I didn't like how they introduced a real-life cat as the main enemy. But in terms of what the film was trying to accomplish with all the lore of Ninjago, it was so well done. So yeah, I'm going to say the Lego Ninjago movie. That was good. Next question comes from Speed Racer. He asks, favorite Lego train? Probably the Emerald Knight. And again, I'm going to be mentioning that set a couple of times as we go through these questions. It's probably the one that I have to say is my favorite because it kickstarted everything. The channel exists in the way that it does because of that set. The Emerald Knight is a very precious set. I would love to see it remade some way. Not even as the Emerald Knight, but a dark green tender engine as like a legacy set, maybe. As Lego have remade old Ninjago sets. Why not do it for the Emerald Knight? It's probably going to cost £200 now, but you know what? I'd be up for that. So yeah, I think the Emerald Knight is my favorite Lego train set. Back to RK as he asks, Rest Eternal or Rusty Turtle? Yes. Back to Speed Racer and he asks, what is your favorite Speed Champion set? What is my favorite Speed Champion set? So the Pagani Utopia was one of the first ones I bought, or probably the first one I bought, for me at least, when it came to making all of the custom cars I've got. Because I remember when I moved away from trains, I wanted to make the 4 delinquent road hazard characters from Pixar cars. And the original plan was to make them big, like not the size of the Technic sets, but you can get large built cars. And that was the plan. But I remember thinking, oh, that's going to cost a lot of money. All these big pieces, this and that. So let's try something smaller. I rediscovered the Speed Champion sets. And knowing what I wanted to make, I thought to myself, you know what? That's a grey car. Let's go for that one. So the Pagani Utopia is an important one. I don't know if it's my favourite one. Lightning McQueen is up there. Honestly, maybe Lightning McQueen, because I absolutely adore the Pixar Cars franchise as a whole, never mind just the films. It's a car I've been trying to make a mock of forever, and I've sadly... Where have I even put it? I've put it... That's a point. Where have I put it? Because it was on the desk. Hang on, give me one... Hang on. Where the hell have I put it? Okay, my Lightning McQueen. I built it, but it's run away. That's actually scary. Where have I put it? Oh dear. Something for after the stream. So yeah, let's just finish this up and say the Pagani Utopia will be second favorite, but Lightning McQueen will be my first favorite. Yeah, let's go with that. What a mess. Let's have a quick drink. Whew. How are we doing in the chats? May saying, "I'll check out the Street Racers playlist." Yeah, I was here. Real Man, remember the Ninjago pilot? The pilot. Lego posted that a couple of I think it was in time for the 15th anniversary on YouTube. I just rewatched it. You can they're like 10 minutes each, 11 minutes each, I think. So you can just go through the pilots in under an hour as one video. It's brilliant. My friend is obsessed with Ninjago. He has no other connections to Lego, but he will binge Ninjago. Fair enough. Does anyone not like the Emerald Knights? Well, you say that. Yes. There is a friend of mine from the LUKR. He runs Block Junction. His name is Will. And he has open disdain for the Emerald Knights. Maybe it's because it's not that good a set compared to the Lego Train MOCs you see today. But whatever his reason was, I know that he's not a fan. So each to their own. The Ninjago movie cat always weirded me out. Yeah, I hated that. I mean, I understood why the original Lego movie had real-world elements. That worked really well to have that combine and kind of show how, the playability in the toy world, it all checks out. That made sense. But yeah, doing that in a fictional world, even when they did that sort of thing with the Lego Batman movie, I didn't really like it. Remember, kids, stay hydrated. I do know Will. I'm yet to hear his opinions on it, though. No, he maybe just hasn't mentioned it in ages. I do know that is something that it's probably a couple of years ago when he said that anyways. But I do remember him not being fond. I'm not going to say he hates it. He's just not been fond of it. He might have changed his opinion now. He'll probably say I'm talking a load of rubbish. Yeah, just something out there. Right. Next is a series of 10 questions by Seth Brecht. Let's dig in. So, number 1, what were the main inspirations for all of your Lego building phases? Trains, cars, buildings, etc. So, I've got 3 real phases. The big phase was Lego Trains. Cars is the next big phase. And belts have kind of been weaved in between. Oh, pardon me. So, Trains was an easy inspiration because my dad was always a big rail fan. He loved watching model railway stuff, watching railway-related programs on TV, documentaries and such. So being exposed to that was a big inspiration. My best friend in primary school was also a big train fan and had his own model trains and such. So that definitely played a big part. Being into Lego as well, he didn't really... I don't know what I'm talking about there. Yeah, Michael being my childhood best friend, never really got the idea behind Lego. I remember him saying, funny enough, when he came over to my house for a past birthday, he wanted to go and find some glue to keep the Lego bricks together. And I just remember saying to him, no, you can't do that. That's not modeling. So Trains was easy because I was around it all the time. And I do like trains. They're cool. Have you seen them? Yeah, they're pretty good. But in time, that kind of wore out. So when it came to the block of Lego car building, it was perfect. I've said this a couple of times, but I'll make sure to get the whole story here so we can all understand why I feel this way. So, the first ever Supersonic Brick show was in, I think, July of 2023. At that time, the train layouts that I had was small enough to just fit the bedroom floor. It was really good to have it in that way because I never really had enough space to do much with my layout anyways, but that was good enough to work where I could just get it out and play with it. Soon after that, I discovered a way to basically the foam board boxes to have something so compact and keep it all together without rustling around in the massive 50-litre boxes and have it break every time I take it to shows. That was another problem where if you take a train layout to a show, if you ever seen people who take the layouts to shows, it takes a while to set up. It took me over an hour to set up and over an hour to pack down. And eventually, I got fed up with it. So it was at the right time where I wanted to take a break from that, and I rediscovered my love and passion for cars. Because as a kid, I also loved cars as much as I loved trains. Debatably more, but that's the past, so that doesn't matter. So that's when I wanted to give it a go, and going back to a previous question about the Speed Champion set. The Pagani Utopia was a set I bought, which kickstarted everything I've got now because of what I wanted to build. So the inspiration was more so wanting to take a break from the trains and rediscovering the passion I had for road vehicles and cars. So yeah, that was, again, I don't like calling it an inspiration because I don't feel like it answers the question properly, but that's the best way I can answer it because that is what happened. And the other phase being the wrestling belts is not so much a phase, but the inspiration is the heaviest of the three. So I've been watching pro wrestling since January of 2008, and it's been over 18 years. So I'm just looking at the calendar. Yeah, 18 years since I last got into it. Since I first got into it, even. I remember my 10th birthday, which was 2008. I got a Ben 10 Omnitrix toy and a Jack's Pacific foam strap, plastic kid-size spinner belt replica. There was another one or two. I think I got a sonic screwdriver as well for that year's birthday. I'm probably misremembering, but I remember that being a banger of a birthday. So as the years go on and you become an adult and you are a fan of wrestling, you will inevitably want your own replica belt. The problem is they cost a couple of hundred bucks. Now you can get some secondhand online for like 150 or something like that, so it's not too bad. But to get a good quality one, especially fresh from the factory online, you're forking out £500. That ain't good. If I was going to make my own belts from scratch, it would cost me maybe 250. I'm thinking back to when I made the White Strap Intercontinental, because that was a commission for a friend of mine, as I make sure to mention every time. And I spent over £200 on parts. I can't remember how much exactly, but it was over £200 on parts. And knowing what I've made, and of course it being a combination of wrestling and Lego, I feel like the replica that I've built, costing about 200, yeah, I'll have to build it, but again, that's completely fine with me. So, all things considered, it was a really fortunate, it was a really fortunate way to have two things in one. I've got replica belts, which is something I want. They're full size as a fully grown adult. Yes, that's good. But it's also built out of something I play with every day. I'm not having to get some leather, forge some metal, or even cut down cardboard into... It's not a DIY project, it's a Lego project. So that was a real good inspiration, because the first one I made, which was the big logo belt, I made that in a day. I had all the parts anyways, but I made that in a day, and I was so happy. So yeah, the inspiration comes from... I've been a fan of wrestling forever. Easy to make. It's pretty good. Oh, KD Drift, hello, good to see you. I did not see you appear in the chat. Oops. And that was 6 minutes ago. You are working. What day is it? It's Thursday. I wonder who made you tune into the stream. You better not show anyone. God damn it. So hello and goodbye. Good to see you. I will make sure to pass on the message to say that I saw you in chat. Phoenix Lover, hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. You have not missed. You asked one. You asked a few. Yes, you have missed a few questions. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4. There's still 4 to go. So your original 4 of first Lego set, I remember getting. Next contraption, Favorite Lego TV show and Lego favorite film. I've already answered those. So not too bad, but again, they still got 4 to go. Mayor Hosco says playing trains on automobiles at a wrestling tournament. That's going to be one hell of a something. Build what you like and like what you build. Absolutely. I think the belts are the perfect thing for that. Because, again, I'm probably a bigger fan of wrestling than I am cars and trains. The belts mean more to me than anything else I've built out of Lego. Period. So, yeah. That's definitely something. Let me just... hang on. So KD Drift is someone I know personally. I'm going to quickly send her a message just to let her know that I've acknowledged her in chat. If it wants to catch up. No, I don't think it's going to work. All right, I'll do it later. Bloody hell. Right, let's get back to the stream. So that was the first question out of 10 from Seth. Oh boy. Oh, this chair is not comfortable. Well, it is. It's my back. 28 years old, I've got back problems. It's not good. Is there? Oh, so I've got yes. Oh, wee. That definitely felt something. Right, so question number 2 out of 10. We've seen trains and now automobiles. How long until we get to see you building planes? I don't think I'm going to be building planes, but if I was going to build an aircraft of some kind, the Pridwin from Fallout 4, that sounds like a fun idea. It's going to be gigantic, but I think I'd be up for that. I'd have to make vertebrates, the whole docking thing, the inside of the blimp. Do I do it so it's... Yeah, I have to make it so it's open. I'll probably have to really shrink it down. I will think on that. But yeah, if there was any kind of aircraft I would make, Fallout 4 Pridwin, that'd be pretty good. So no, again, it's not a plane, but it's the next best thing. And just for the sake of getting it out there, a good friend of mine, his name is Aero Bricks. He does a lot of Lego aeroplanes. He will satisfy you on my behalf. Question number 3. Having built a large community across all platforms, have there been times where they have been an inspiration for you rather than the other way around? Well, as a short answer, yes. I think the ultimate form of that is the community challenge I used to do. So if anybody remembers the community challenge I used to hold every month a couple of years ago, it would be build a Lego train version of this. Ugh, I need to stop drinking fizzy drinks. That's not good. So the community challenge is probably the defining bit of inspiration I've received from my fan base and my subscribers. So it would be interesting to bring it back as well, because I know a couple of people after it stopped said they wanted to see it return. It's been a long time since it's been gone. I don't know if I would bring it back, but I'll just entertain that now just for the sake of getting it out there. But it was definitely something that inspired me, because month after month, I would see people make these wonderful mocks, and there was always something each month that would lead me to want to make something that uses a detail from one of these models. So the community challenge is probably the best way I can answer that question. I think the other part of inspiration is just, as cheesy as it sounds, just you folks being around, because you care about the stuff I'm making and doing on YouTube. That means a hell of a lot. So to have a channel with over 5,000 subscribers itself is really fortunate. Yeah, I'll just go with that, to be honest. Just being around. I really do treasure it. The community challenge was also really good for that too, so thank you. Question number 4. Do you still keep up with the Lego train community as much? No, ever since I kind of unofficially retired from Lego trains, which was a couple of years ago. I left all of the Lego Train forums and Facebook groups. So it's been ages since I've really kept up with anything. It's definitely been a couple of years, especially by this point. It's a shame, really, because there's so much going on in the Lego Train scene still today. So much new stuff, all these new builders coming up. But, I mean, why would I keep up with it, to be honest? It would be really uninspiring to surround myself with all of these forums and all these builders when I am not participating in it myself. So I say that in a way where I know I'm taking a break from this, however long it might be. I would not be doing myself any favors if I stuck around, because I know I want to do other things. Seeing all this other stuff, it's going to create this mindset for me of, oh, this was a model I wanted to make, but he's done a really good model just now. I'm saying, yeah, he's done it for me, so I don't need to make that anymore. That's going to be the problem. And it's probably not a good mindset to have, but it's one that I guess I've had for the last couple of years when I was building Lego trains. I mean, I've made so many models, but there's so many I haven't made. And it's very easy to see someone else, especially when they just appear out of nowhere. You've never heard the name before, and they've made this fantastic mock of a locomotive. And it's one that you've been trying to figure out how to make. And before you get started, you see that model and you go, wicked, he's made one for me. It's not a common mindset that we had in the Lego train scene, but it was easy to think that way, especially when you look at it from the perspective of, say, Hornby makes a new locomotive. It's a brand new locomotive that no other manufacturer has made yet. The other manufacturers could look at that and go, assuming it's a good model, great, it exists. That's one less we can do on our list. That might be the wrong mindset there, but that was the line of thinking. There was no point in me sticking around because, at least in my mind, it wouldn't do me any favors, as weird as it might sound. So, yeah, there's that. Just see if it's loading one sec. There it is. Oh, right. Just letting Katie know that I saw her. Hang on. There we go. Right, next question from Seth Bricks. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have you grown, or how have you grown as a builder since the last Q&A? So I don't remember when my last Q&A was. I got to go to looking at job applications, but again, I'll try and come back later. Hope the rest of the stream goes well. Thank you very much for tuning in for as long as you have, Duck. It has been a pleasure to have you around. Thank you again for your birthday wishes. Have a good time, and good luck with the job applications. Hope you get something good soon. All right, see you around, bud. So back to the question, how have I grown since the last Q&A? So I don't remember when my last Q&A was, so I'm going to modify it slightly to say, how have I grown as a builder over the years? Because I think the last Q&A was a couple of years ago. Oh, pardon me. So I know that I have been building better and better models. I've definitely noticed that with some of the Lego trains that I made. I remember rebuilding my models of Oliver, Duck, and Thomas, and they were much better models than what I've made in the past. Duck and Oliver especially, I loved how that 4200 looked. Trace of Pierce Bricks was a massive inspiration for that. So it's definitely got that going on for it. Also, for the cars, it's definitely clear in the past maybe year or so, the first year of me making my cars, especially when it came to the first and second seasons of Street Racers specifically. Looking at the cars that I had made that made it into episodes, some of them definitely look a bit, but it's also really fascinating to know that I've wanted to scrap them, rebuild some of them, and the rebuilds I've made for some of the cars I wanted to keep some of them are subtle, and I don't like to say in such a way where I'm so enthusiastic about it, but I know that I have improved because the rebuild looks like a much smarter model. When you learn these new developments and these techniques and using all these new pieces, figuring out all these bits to make a model that looks so much better, you get excited like this. You really do. Again, going back to Trace from Pierce Bricks, his favorite locomotive of all time is the 1400, the Great Western 14XX. So he's had that for, I don't know how long, probably for just forever. Let's just go with forever. Year after year, he would post updates of small little tweaks, a couple of pieces replaced, this, that, and the other. And the model is gradually improving. I remember when he first joined the LNUR, he made his locomotives at 6 studs wide. His 1400 was so basic. He eventually went wider to 7. Immediately looked better. As the years went on, he loved going 8 studs wide, kept the scale as accurate as he could, but that was his baby, in the same way the Coronation was my baby. I did as much as I could to improve upon that, new valve gear, this, that, and the other. It was so exciting to see him develop his model, which made me want to develop my model, because I'm looking at other people, again, like I mentioned earlier with the LEGO Train community question, seeing other people use all these methods, and you zoom in on certain sections of the picture where you realize, oh, he's used this piece, it's sideways, but he's got it connected. Oh, I think I know how he would connect it. So then you run back to your model and you give that a go. Oh my God, it works. And it's moments like that where I know I am improving because I'm seeing what other people have done, but it's also figuring out, I know what I want to make. I have an idea in my mind. And with this new piece coming up because of this new set, let's give it a go. So all these come together. And as the years go on, you do recognize, in some cases subtly, but in some other cases more obviously, that I am able to improve. And like I mentioned with some of the cars that I've made, some of the car mocks that I've rebuilt, it's actually a better idea to answer this question. So if you go to my Instagram page, try and load it up. So again, I am posting a series of photos one every day to get the next wave of car mocks out online. Sorry, give me 1 second. I need to wipe my nose. It's it, Jay. Sorry, hang on. I'm here. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, as it were. Ooh. So I've got a blue hot rod, a yellow and dark green, and a yellow and white car. So 3 different car mocks. These were older models, but have been rebuilt in such a way where they look so much better to their previous iterations. And seeing the before and after, the old model and the new model, that is something that makes me realize that I've definitely improved as a builder. That's something that I look at and go, yeah, I have definitely stepped my game up since this past point. It's a bit of a long answer, but it's definitely good to get that out there because it's very exciting to realize I've grown. That's a good thing. That's such a good thing. RK says, there are 2 ways of doing things the Great Western way and the wrong way. Yep. And Trace definitely does things the Great Western way. Sorry, I need to scratch my nose again. Hang on, let me just, there we go. Yeah, Trace is a massive fan of Great Western locomotives. His fleet is not just Great Western, but you can definitely tell which of the big 4 he would support. Well, I'm from Bristol, which is Great Western territory as well, so technically I should be, but with a train set that's LMS, it's a, a bit betrayal. Which green were those engines? What do you mean, sorry? Which green were those engines? The 1400? Most dominantly, they were dark green. I think it's Brunswick green officially. So when you see the locomotive built in Lego form, Lego's dark green will be used to represent that livery. You can get some in black, plenty in a brighter shade of green, thanks to Oliver, of course. But yeah, some of the more boring colors. Okay then, so that's half of his questions. Just a quick breath. So it is 45 minutes into the stream. Hope we're all doing okay. We still got quite a few to go, but that's a good thing. Nice long live stream this. Question number 6 from him is favorite and least favorite sets releasing later this year. So it's difficult to really give an answer because we're only starting the 3rd month of the year. So my most favorite that I'm looking forward to, I was really excited for the City Police train set. So that's still something I'm really looking forward to. The least favorite, I don't really know, I guess. I don't know. Again, it's too difficult to judge. So I think I'll try and modify this slightly and think back to what sets came out last year. So I think a favorite set that came out last year is probably the City Scrapyard. It's such a unique style of set that I had to get one. It was perfect for the Car City. Well, anyone's playable Car City when you think about it, because it's such a fun set. But in terms of least favorite, I can't really think, because there's sets that I've gotten just for the parts. So I've always been really picky with my sets as well. So I don't really have a set I could say is my least. From the past few years, I couldn't say. The only one I could really go with is back from 2022, which was that massive £430, that massive Hogwarts Express set. That was definitely a set that existed. Yeah, I didn't like it. I regretted buying that. It's the only set that I've regretted buying, so I think that's what I'm going to go with. It's a very cheap answer because it doesn't really answer the question, but it's all I've got. Okay, so we'll have to go with that. Number 7 from Seth Bricks. Do you regret not making your cars sooner? Nope, because the cars were built at the perfect time. The sets that were available at that time as well, the City Car Wash set, the City Custom Tuner Garage, and everything that came afterwards, it was the perfect time. So regret building it sooner? No, of course not. It was perfect. Number 8, will you ever attempt to make a MIDI-scale wrestling ring with wrestlers? About the size of the buildable Legoland figures. No, I don't think I will. I had action figures as a kid and wrestling toys. Like, I had an Elimination Chamber playset. That was fun in its own right when I was a kid. I don't think I will. Another clubmate from Gertlug, shout out Gertlug, who is also a wrestling fan, he has made a minifigure scale wrestling ring. It's smaller than the Legoland figures, but he's basically done that for me, something I've talked about in the past. It's not something that I would want to make anyways, but I'm so glad someone else has. I would rather have the belts because that's more my flavor. So not really a ring, but I do appreciate that someone else has made that. And I think in the future that might be something I take to shows, but it would be such a piss take for me to do it because someone else has already made it. So, well, 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Question number 9, will the burp juice make another cameo? Oh yeah, that's what that tastes like. I don't know. It might do. RK saying, I remember when you dropped the big Hogwarts Brett live on count. Yeah, that's... I think that's the ultimate stream highlight because that's the only live stream moment I can remember. I've done plenty of live streams where I've just sat down and chatted. I've done some where, I'm building live on camera. But as a moment, that's the definitive moment for my live streams. So, yeah. Someone on Etsy sells 3D printed track and blind drivers so you can actually run the UCS Hogwarts Express. Ah. Blind drivers. Well, that's good because that size train wheel, the position where the drive rod is, there's an extra stud of space between the center and where the drive rod sits. So seeing that spin is ridiculous, but I definitely appreciate that someone has made a blind version of that wheel. It's something to play with in the future. Let's say, you know what? How much do those wheels cost? Train. Actually, no. Hogwarts Express. Let's try and find that. That's. Oh, where's the fat one? Collector's edition. That's the one. First of all, new sealed, about £335 on Bricklink. That's still too much. That wheel piece. Where is it? Because I wouldn't mind playing with that wheel piece for a future. Oh, like a Sterling single with. Oh my god. Well, then again, I made a Sterling single with the 2XL driver in the form of Emily. All of them. Only two. Wow. Only 2 UK stores have that massive train wheel piece. One of the stores only has 1. The other store has 5 at £6 each. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Well, that's off the menu. God damn it. You put it in Discord, have you? Aha. Oh, wow. Okay. I'll make sure to look at that later. Is that supposed to be a video or is that just a picture? Well, I'll look at it after the stream. That's pretty good. Right. Question number 10, the last one in this moment. Who are some standout builders for you at the moment? Well, in order for me to answer this, I really have to look at the people I'm following on Instagram at the moment. So it's going to be car related for the most part. So Tom's 8 Wides, he's been going for a while, but I absolutely love that guy. There is also a guy called Paulie Lego. He does some really funky car builds. There's also Pax Tees 31, same style, which is a very different flavor, but he's got some really good stuff. And a guy by the name of DSD Vega Brick. Some more car builds, which are a bit more smooth and subtle, but he's definitely got a really good range. And Darkostas 25_arts, because he makes trains and cars. They're all digital, but this guy is amazing at what he does. Has he been posting new stuff and I've missed it? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I need to give that a go as well. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, those are a couple of people that I follow. Those are the only real names I could really say that I'm keen to see what they do more of, I guess. But, yeah, all the same, that's the best I can do to answer that question. And yeah, that's everything that Seth Bricht had written down. So thank you for your series of questions. Back to Speed Racer, where he says, outside of Lego, what are some of your other passions? The only other one really is wrestling, but that has been explained earlier in the form of being a fan for over 18 years, wanting replica belts, building Lego belts, and all that good stuff. So, yeah, Ben 10, sorry, wrestling. So I got on my wall behind, well, technically Ben 10 as well. On my wall behind the monitor, I've got a couple of Ben 10 items pinned to the wall and on the shelf above. I've still got my custom Omnitrix. Still here. I love this thing. What about, oh yeah, I've got my other 2 custom ones up there. But this is the main one. So Ben 10 is a kind of a softer passion. I've been a bit less involved with what's going on with all that. There's a new Ben 10 comic coming out, though. I'm really looking forward to that. The art style for some of the aliens looks wild. Oh, pardon me. But you know what? We're getting something new. I'm in for it. So yeah, that is that one answered. Back to Phoenix Lover 69 with 4 more questions. His first one saying, what's your favorite iteration of each of the old giants? Okay then, let's do some looking around. So the second, we'll have to go to the first era because second era giants don't really count for that. The first era, oh, what a time to be alive. So for the Emerald Champion, it's going to be a bit tricky deciding on one because it has so many different flavors. I would probably say one of the sort of mid versions. So 12.2 was when it first became a triplex. Well, actually, it has looked like that before, but this looked a bit more proper. Had lots of golden details. That was a really fun mock. I remember I'm in the playlist now, so looking at the one after that, the oh, I remember this. It was like a couple of weeks where I was just modifying and playing with it. Yeah, that was really fun. But I think 12.2, like the golden triplex time, that was really good. Some of the versions that came afterward when I started playing with the 2XL drive wheels, not bad, but it's not exactly great either. Greyhound. Didn't really have that much going for it, did it? Probably the first or second version, because actually, no. I'm going to go with 4.1, because when version 4.0 was made, it was at the same time where I was building the Giants, obviously, but I was watching a lot of Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. So I remember just having that on in the background, binging that whilst this was being made. Oh, it was ridiculous, but yeah. Oh, Big Red. I'm going to cheat with this one because Big Red got turned into the Coronation Giant, so that's my answer for that one. The Blue Guardian. Oh, it was such a basic model when it first came out. But I remember seeing the LNER A4 Bittern with 2 tenders, and that became an inspiration for this as well. When I played with the smaller wheels, that was definitely a lot of fun. So the quadruplex version, the massive bulky, good lord, that's so bulky. But yeah, version 6.0 I think is probably the best that's ever looked. It's a bit of a shame that I used smaller wheels for it. Can't do anything about that now. God, 9 is a terrible design. Ugh. The Midnight Panther only ever had really one look, so a bit of a default answer there. The Stevenson's Champion, oh, that was wicked fun as well. The 7.1 version, where it is basically 4 rockets in one, the double funnel version, that was a locomotive that was actually really fun to make. I think that would be a contraption version I'll remake. Yeah, I'll keep that noted. The Orange Bullet was a really fun one as well, because this had a lot of pieces from the Horizon Express. This was also one of the other locomotives that had the double cab. So when I was making this along with a modified version of the Emerald Champion, at the cab top, but it was so deep underneath where the wheels were, I made basically like a secondary cab. It was stupid. But God, it was cool. The White Medallion is a hunk of junk. The Sunset was made for a friend, so it's only got like 1 or 2 versions, so that's a bit of a non-answer. And the last one, the Fat Man, was basically the Union Pacific Big Boy. So yeah, that's what I've got there. What a trip. Maya says, got to go. Happy birthday. Well, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Thanks for coming along for as long as you have. It's good to see you again. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Take care. RK says, when the big Hogwarts Express came out, I got 4 big drive wheels of Bricklink. Wanted to make an 8-wheeler with the wheels. I didn't have many parts at the time, so I built a single. Well, fair enough. I think for that size wheel, a single works best. That's probably the only way you really could go with it. But yeah, fair enough. I've never tried using that wheel on normal track. That's an experiment for the future. Right, so that was a bit of a long question. So next from Phoenix Lover is, what's your favorite contraption class? Let me find that as well. So the contraptions, as I previously mentioned, are a series of custom steampunk-style locomotives. And it was really fun just to let loose. So, I got rid of the version number. Damn it. Did I save it anywhere else? No, I didn't. Bugger. So I want to say this is version 4. It feels right for me to say version 4, but there's a version where... Let me link it in Discord. Train marks. Yep. There we go. That one, basically, because it looks so ridiculous, but it works as a design for me. So, yeah, there's that. Next question is, what inspired you to start the Street Racer series? Get rid of that. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. So the Street Racer series came about because when I first started getting into making my Lego cars, it was a bit of an escalation where I made the garage, I made a number of cars, but I had some, I had some fun in designing what the minifigure looked like for each car. And then I thought to myself, like, what would his story be? So one thing led to another, backstories and profiles all came together. I ended up making 30 cars, and I thought to myself, you know what? Let's try something. So I told a story with Brick Daddy, the garage, and the whole saga began from there. It was a more efficient way for me to showcase the cars on YouTube as well. So at this time, I wanted to do a mock showcase video of everything I had built, but to do 30 unique car mock showcase videos would be very repetitive. The unique backstories and profiles per video would make it so you got something different to listen to every single time, as well as you can enjoy looking at the car that's on screen. And seeing how successful these series have been, I'd say it's gone quite well. Hence why we're making Chapter 4. So, yeah, that was the main inspiration behind the Street Racer series. It was a really good bolt of inspiration because, again, making the cars was it was at the perfect time. And everything that came afterwards for the Street Racer series, it couldn't be better. It just could not be better. Final question from Phoenix Lover 69 is, what's your favorite Street Racers good guy car, bad guy car, and monster truck? So my favorite, I'm going to have to grab because it's just been rebuilt. I say just been, this is like last weekend, like before I went to Comic-Con. So my main character drives this, the fabled GT V8. Very sleek looking, It's supposed to be a basic car that has a bunch of modifications. And the lore and the myth behind this car is some say it can hit 300 miles an hour, that sort of thing. But that comes from the fact that I had a black and yellow car before my days of building Lego trains, where I put all my detail into. I don't have any surviving pictures or videos of that car. But that is where the inspiration came from, and that's why that's my favorite, because it has something personal to it. My favorite bad guy car is going to be the white and lime green neon car, as I call it, from the character Baron Luther. So I don't know why I'm looking for it, because I can't. Well, I can. I don't know. It's going to take. Oh, it's going to take for ages to load, so I'm going to leave it be. But yes, the white and lime green neon themed car is a favorite of mine because the color scheme and the overall shape just looks really not clunky, funky car. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that was a really fun one to make. The windscreen piece I used as well was from the Lego City Gaming Esports Lorry set, a weird set in of itself, but it was just perfect. It worked perfectly. So that's my favorite bad guy car. And monster truck, I only made 5. Actually, well, I made 6. The sixth one never got a profile. It's a shame because I never got into monster trucks as much as I did with the rest of the cars. But a favorite would probably have to be... Did I even have it on here? No. There was one that I made which was predominantly white and had some black decals here and there. That got rebuilt to have this massive skull front. So, you know, from the Ninjago first year, there was that massive Skullkin monster truck. So when you push down on it, the suspension of the jaw does that. It was inspired by that. And it had a tombstone in the back, and it was called the Undertaker. It was a really cool monster truck. So of all of them, that one. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much to Phoenix Lover for your questions. RK has the next one, and this is his last question. If you were to ever go on a holy crusade to see a preserved locomotive, what locomotive would it be and where would you go? I would want to see the Princess Coronation, the streamlined version, which is at the National Railway Museum in York. I mean, I've still got the set. Well, it's over there. Hang on, it's there, exactly where my finger is pointing. It's behind this box, but it's there. The Coronation is still built up. All the batteries are still in the boxes. The battery rechargers, for the life of me, I don't know where they've gone. But it'd be good to see the real thing. If I ever win the lottery, I'll buy myself a house, get myself stable, have some fun. But I will fund, if I ever win the lottery, I would personally fund the restoration of that locomotive. So like in 5 years' time after the rebuild, we could see if that can take the steam speed record. That'd be fun. I want to see that. So yeah, that'd be the locomotive. Absolutely worth it. Next from Speed Racer, it says, what are your thoughts on the Postman Pat movie and how it predicted AI slop over 10 years in advance? I have not seen the Postman Pat movie, but if it did predict AI slop, then, wow, it was ahead of its time. I'm not going to look it up. I've not seen the Postman Pat movie, but yeah, something like that, if it did predict all that stuff all that time ago, sometimes the warnings need to be listened to. Yeah. Speed Racer has the last series of questions. So next we have, I know you loved the Ghost Train from Monster Fighters theme, but what are your thoughts on the theme as a whole? Love it. I loved the Monster Fighters theme because that was a theme that was going on around the same time as Space Police, Monster Fighters, there was Lego Atlantis, and there was Power Miners, all that going on at the same time. Ninjago had just come to being a thing. it was a great time to be alive because Monster Fighters as a theme is really flavorful, very packed with character. The sets were great, but it reminds me more so of a time where there was so much unique stuff going on with Lego, all these strong themes that are stronger in retrospect. So yeah, love Monster Fighters. Your favorite failed Lego theme? I don't know, to be honest, because I only really started paying attention to Lego themes and what's being released and whatever else kind of since when I got into card building. When it came to the trains, I never really paid attention to what sets were coming out. So themes that failed, as weird as this sounds, I'm going to say Dots. Yeah, because the artwork that Dots allowed and the pieces that came with it, for me, it was a really good convenience. So for that reason, probably say Dots. What was your first Lego train set? It wasn't the Emerald Knight. I remember getting the My Own Train before then. I visited, again, me and my family visited my nana on my dad's side, and I remember getting that set. Me and nana went home. They stayed out to do more shopping or whatever else. I had that built up. I had the large blue locomotive, and it was probably the first Lego train set I had. I can't think of anything that came before it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah, it was the My Own Train. What can I say? Yeah, it didn't do well. Just I can't help but say it, but yeah, it didn't do well. Nowadays, if that came back, I don't think it would do well. But yeah, what a set. What was your first Lego set? Is the next question. That was kind of answered previously with who was it who asked? What someone said, what was the earliest set I remember getting? Yeah, so that was basically answered earlier. It was the World City helicopter, police helicopter specifically. I can't remember anything before that. My dad had Lego sets that he let me play with, but in terms of me getting one for myself, that's the earliest one I can remember. What is your favorite alternate brick brand? I can only speak to one, and that is Blue Bricks. I bought the Eurostar set as a present to my dad a number of years ago, and the brick quality was exactly the same as Legos. You could not tell the difference without paying attention to the studs, because on Lego bricks it will say Lego on the studs. For Blue Bricks, the studs were smooth. But yeah, they were really, really well made bricks. The set went together really well. Overall, it was pretty good. I haven't tried any other brands, to be honest. Well, that's a lie. One of the stores I used to work at called Wilco, they had their own brand of brick toys. The brick quality was good. A fractional downgrade compared to Blue Bricks. The sets were not bad by any means. The only one that I remember getting was an aquarium set, which was really cool. That as a building, I don't think Lego have ever made yet still, but yeah, that's something I would love to see Lego make. That was a really fun set. Brick quality was very good. But overall, I think my favorite would be Blue Bricks because I've ordered other parts from them as well, just individual pieces, and they've been really good. Just a quick drink. And the next question is, what are your thoughts on the 2026 Thomas and Friends reboots? So I have pretty much everything good to say about it, except for one thing. I like how the show looks, the art style's good, the toys look good, There's going to be some finalization when it comes to the art styles for some of these characters, because you can see Unlucky Tug basically did a whole video on this, which I strongly encourage everyone go and watch because it's so well done. The only thing that I don't like about it is the characters still bounce. I hated that when they introduced it in Journey Beyond Sodor, where they can jump their bodies around into some stupid position as a way of kind of gesturing and whatever else. The wheels would stay flat on the track, but it's so unrealistic. Yes, it's a cartoon and a kid show, so I get that. Oh, but I hate it. I absolutely hate the bouncing. It's terrible. Otherwise, everything else looks good. When the series comes out and we watch the episodes, I'm really keen to see what kind of stories they tell, if they adapt stories from the books, or if they do all new custom stories. I really hope they go back to basics and redo stories from the books. I feel like that would be a much safer bet because they are very strong stories. The model series and the later CGI series had their own strong stories anyways, but adapting the books should be the port of call, and I really hope that at least some of the episodes have that. Even if they adapt it in such a way where they take a character and swap it with another one to make it more sense with its own specific way, I'd be okay with that because they're still adapting original material. Yeah, that's all I can really say, I guess. We'll have to see what the series is actually like, and I really hope, of all things, we do get a new series every year. If we have to wait 2-3 years for the next series, what's the point? It's bad enough that big shows take 2 years to make a season, and the seasons are only 8 episodes long anyways. This is a kid's show. A new season has to be made fairly quickly and have a good number of episodes. So let's see what that's like. Hopefully it goes that way. Okay, then we are on the very last question. Also asked by Speed Racer. What is your favorite Thomas and Friends movie and why? For me, I would say Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. That feels cinematic. I remember watching Unlucky Tug's old video where he ranked all the movies, and he tied number 1 with Misty Island Blue Mountain Mystery, rather, not Misty Island, good lord, that's the worst. Blue Mountain Mystery with Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. For me, Blue Mountain feels like a big episode, which is kind of what a movie is supposed to be, but Legend of the Lost Treasure feels cinematic. It doesn't feel that over the top. It fits what it's trying to be. It's a film. It is really, really good. I would like to say something like The Adventure Begins because of what that is, but that again feels like more of a really big episode. I do also want to say The Great Race, but it's not really that good of a film. It misses certain beats, and I really don't like how some sections of the film are. It feels, I don't know, oddly paced in a way, where we're focusing so much on Thomas, where it would have made a really good Gordon story. I understand that the corporate higher-ups probably wanted Thomas to be the focal character because, well, Thomas and Friends, that's his franchise after all. But if they made Gordon the focused character, even if they had it parallel where Gordon's going in and Thomas decides to go in with him, they both streamline or whatever else, but it could have been so much better of a story, But yeah, that's going to be my answer to that question, and that is the answer to all of these questions. So yeah, there we go. That is quite a lot of time. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. let's catch up with the chats. So Phoenix Lover says, yeah, the bouncing for Thomas doesn't work at all. Chuggington somehow made it work, but it was only possible because the whole show was sillier and less realistic than Thomas. Yes, you are spot on there. When you think about what All Engines Go was, and of course Chuggington, yeah, the bouncing and all the exaggerated movement makes sense there. For what Thomas was, the bouncing did not work. RK also says unrealistic bouncing locomotives are dumb. What I think is funny is that they started this current incarnation of Thomas during the production of All Engines Go and it was crap. Yes, I did see that again. Unlucky Tug's video that I referred to earlier, which is like 2 weeks old at this point. It's like one of his more recent videos. But yeah, he was going over how it was amazing to discover that they were All Engines Go had 4 seasons, and the research he did showed that they were making this reboot after the second season was made because they knew All Engines Go was rubbish. All Engines Go in the bin. Yep. I mean, fair play at the same time to make seasons 3 and 4 of All Engines Go, because they can't have content not going out whilst they're making new content. So that checks out. Ah, wow. Oh, what a live stream. What a time. That was a lot of fun. Thank you everyone so much for asking questions. Whew. Time to have a break now, I think. So, what do we do next? Well, I know what I'm doing next. My Bricklink cord arrived just before the live stream. That is a point. I need to inform Mr. Man that he can collect that. Thankfully, he didn't show up to get the Lego. We did this uninterrupted. That's a good thing. So I'm going to give him a message. I'm going to get on with the new belt. And that is going to be it for me today. I was expecting this to be a lot longer. I guess it's not being that is a good thing. What have you posted? Is this the... Oh, there it is. French passenger train with 96-inch drive wheels. Bloody hell. Huh. Whew, that's wow, that is very exaggerated. That could work with minimum radius curve eventually. Yeah, I like that comment. That's good. That's definitely a possible... I thought that was broad gauge for a second, because that's just ridiculous. But you know what? That looks rather funky. That design could work with those wheels. Again, the only thing that would bug me about it is knowing how far away the drive wheel pinhole is from the center of the wheel itself. Still worth a go. I'm not going to be the one to try that, but if anybody else does go for it, let me know. I'll be keen to see it. Oh, stupid look. It looks beautiful and stupid at the same time. That's the kind of engine I love. Oh, wait. A couple of other people have mentioned the earliest Lego sets they got. Right. There we go. So that is it. We are done. So I'm going to be posting after this the updated tour that I'm doing with the Lego belts across my Lego shows. The poster has been redone, so it's a bit more of a list. I've wanted to try and make it in such a way where I can tick off each event after they're done. I've been able to make that work. So again, when I update the tour guide with the shows that are coming out and that I will be attending, this new poster will be featured. Really looking forward to doing all these other shows. I've still got 8 events left to go. Next one is Black Country Brick Show, April 18th and 19th. Really keen to see what that event is like. They've done 6, 7 of those, I think, at this point. 5, 6, or 7. And this is going to be my first. I was thinking about going last year, but I spent my hotel money on Bricktastic instead. Yeah. Also, so yeah, Street Racers Chapter 4 is going to be on its way out at the end of the month. It will be premiering, and all through next month, we will have a new episode every day. That is pretty much it. The only other thing I can really think of is I'm going to have 2 new belts videos going out. One of them is finished, and the other one I will be finishing today. That is going to become its own mock showcase videos from some between now and the next couple of weeks. I don't have any other videos planned. There's not much else I'm really building at the moment. Can't think of anything else. No, that's pretty much it. Everything's all kind of packed away over there. That's it, yeah. So that'll be it. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who asked some questions in the Discord server. It has been a blast doing this live stream. It has been a lot of fun to spend a couple of weeks building up to this event. Thank you everyone for the birthday wishes as well. It has been an interesting day so far, but that's all a good thing. The next live stream, I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. I should be appearing on London Calling tomorrow. I'll have to double check that with Greg. I'm pretty sure he's okay with that. Saturday, I'm going to be out and about getting some Lego at an independent toy store. I don't think I'll do a vlog, but I'll definitely get some pictures of the loot because I'm very excited to see what I come home with. I've heard nothing but good things about this particular store. So yeah, we got that going on. Yeah, that seems to be pretty much it. Right, thanks everyone. I shall see you in a couple of days' time with some new videos. If you are going to be tuning into London Calling tomorrow, I shall see you tomorrow. Still can't talk properly all this time, all these live streams. And I'm still picking. Well, speaking of 100 live streams, when was the first one? Because we've come a long way. We'll just go straight to the bottom, do it that way around. Exactly 100 now. The first live stream was January 22nd, 2022. So 100 live streams across 4 years. So that averages about 25 a year. Wow. God, the first one was so exciting as well, setting it up and getting people tuning in. What a time. Thank you everyone so much for watching. It has been a pleasure to have everyone here today to do this Q&A. Thank you everyone who asked some questions. New videos going out, new live stream tomorrow. I shall see you all in the next episode. Take care, everybody. Thanks for coming. Where's the end? There it is. There, yeah, they moved it. Bye, everyone.